The Columbian Exchange and Global Trade by Liliana Martinez. Brief history. The Columbian Exchange was the trade of animals, crops, and plants globally. Ships from America brought goods to Africa, Europe, and Asia. The goods include cacao, beans, pineapples, corn, potatoes, squash, etc. Livestock and crops were also transported from Europe, Africa, and Asia to the Americas. The exchange also introduced many new items to Native Americans, such as pigs, horses, bananas, rice, and wheat. The Columbian Exchange also introduced many diseases to the Native Americans, such as smallpox and measles. This killed millions of Native Americans. What did the Columbian Exchange trade? The Columbian Exchange was the trade of animals, crops, and plants globally. And here is a picture of an example of the animals and crops that were traded. Why is the Columbian Exchange important to American history? The Columbian Exchange just may be the single most important event in the modern history of the world. The Columbian Exchange explains why Indian nations collapsed and European colonies thrived after Columbus' arrival in the New World in 1492. Where did potatoes come from in the Columbian Exchange? Potatoes were cultivated in the Andes of South America, the Inca Indians in Peru being the first to cultivate it in around 8,000 BC to 5,000 BC, making its way to Afro-Eurasia through the Columbian Exchange. Who were the countries involved? In Europe, the main countries in the trade were England, France, Spain, and Portugal. West Africa was involved in the slave trade, which went to the Caribbean, Brazil, Peru, and southeastern U.S. When did the Columbian Exchange start and end? A phrase coined by historian Alfred Crosby, the Columbian Exchange describes the interchange of plants, animals, and diseases between the Old World and the Americans following Columbus' arrival in the Caribbean in 1492. Causes and effects. Causes: European exploration of the world. Quest for God, guilt, and glory. Empire building. The discovery of the Americas. Colonization of the Americas by Spain and Portugal. Introduction of European culture, goods, people, diseases, and ideas to the Americas. Effects: Aztecs and Incas conquered by diseases, weapons, guns, and Norses. Millions of Native Americans died due to diseases. African slaves are brought to the Americans. Economy changed: cash crops, growth of sugarcane plantations. Food choices expanded worldwide. European culture changed language and religion of Latin America. Similarities and differences. The Mongols improved the role of women in society, whereas Europeans were worse than the natives. The Europeans wanted to spread their religion, whereas the Mongols learned from different religions and seemed to tolerate and appreciate many. Those were two of the similarities, and two of the differences are that both the Mongols and Europeans took ideas that were already existent. The Mongols were interested in Islam and Chinese government. The Europeans learned a lot about farming the native land from natives. Both forcefully brought in their own control and products such as European livestock. This is the end of my presentation of the Columbian Exchange and Global Trade.